Slenderman fans, welcome back to another Pokemon video. Yes, thank you so much for joining me here on the DTMS channel. Today guys, we are going through Rotation 2025. That's right guys, yes, the annual rotation has been announced and it is smacking down on the internet. That's right, on Pokemon Online on the 28th of March, and then 2 weeks later for in-life real play, just in time for a new regional that is going to be happening. Yes, from Journey Together it will be no more. That's when Journeys Together becomes legal, and therefore everything in the F block rotates. What are we going to look at in this video? We're going to look at why rotation happens. We're going to look at all the F block cards that are going to make a huge impact on the meta, and potentially what decks are going to suffer the most, and what will happen from the 11th of April 2025. So without further ado guys, let's crack on and look at the Rotation 2025. So guys, just very quickly, why does rotation happen? Well, rotation happens once a year and it is called the standard format. The standard format has letters, that's right. We are currently in the 2024 block, and that runs F, G and H cards. Everything that has the little letter in the bottom left hand corner of the card. So anything with the F symbol in the bottom left hand side of the card means it is not going to be legal from the 11th of April 2025. What sets are being rotated, I ask? Well, it is everything from Brilliant Stars onwards. That's right, this was released in February 2022. We have Brilliant Stars, Astral Radiance, then we have the Pokemon GO set, we have Lost Origins, Silver Tempest, and then Crown Zenith. They are the 6 sets from 2022 to early 2023 that are rotating. So, what cards are we going to be losing out on? Let's start with Brilliant Stars. Okay guys, so as you can see here, I have chosen the most popular cards that we are going to be missing. First off, let's start with Arceus VSTAR. This card had a huge impact on the meta. It was the first VSTAR card that really shone. You had the Trinity in Overtack that lets you do 200 damage, and then you search for 3 basic energy cards and you can attach them to your Pokemon V, V-Star and V-Max in any way that you like. And then it had its incredible ability, Starbirth. That's right, as soon as you evolved, you flipped your V-Star marker and then you were able to look for 2 cards. Any 2 cards that you wanted. At the time, this was broken. You could look for a boss, you could look for a Professor's Research, you could look for an energy, you could look for a Pokemon, and you didn't even have to show them to your opponent. You could play them that turn and you could potentially win the game. This card was used in so many decks. It was used in world winning decks, it was used in regional winning decks. Arceus VSTAR was a force to be reckoned with. Next we have the barrel. That's right, with its industrious incisors, this was used in loads of decks. It was brilliant because it enabled you to draw 5 cards, well, up to 5 cards. Brilliant for consistency. The next card we're going to go through is in so many decks, and it is still in decks today. Double Turbo Energy. This card was busted. You could smack this on any card. It was first put onto Arceus VSTAR, and then it's been put onto a mirage of cards ever since, even up to last year's winning Iron Thorns deck. That's right, Double Turbo Energy. Yes, it was worth taking the -20 damage because it meant that you could charge up an attack even on Cloth and Terrapagos. Right now it is still used today, and it's going to be a huge loss to the format. A Special Energy I don't think has made so much impact as this one has. Luminion V is my next card with its Luminous sign. Brilliant, smack it down, look for a supporter card, need I say more. Manaphy, yes, with its Wave Veil, it stops damage going on to your bench. Used in so many decks, not damage counters, damage. Used so much. And then we have finally the 3 dogs, Entei V, Suicune V and Raikou V, with their fleet-footed abilities, enabling you to draw a card and then obviously get an attack down for the amount of Pokemon that you have in play for 20 damage. Used in loads of decks. Raikou V is still used in some decks today. Right, let's move on to Astral Radiance then. Okay, So, Astral Radiance had not so many Pokemon, but it had quite a few trainers that are still used today. Obviously, Palkia VSTAR is the big one. That's right, Palkia VSTAR is used in so many decks. It's still used today with Terrapagos. It has the Star Portal ability, enabling you to get 3 energy, water energy from your discard and attach them to your Pokemon. Absolutely brilliant. The Subspace Swell, particularly now that we've got areas in Zero under depths, enables you to do 340, 360 damage. Absolutely busted. This card, I remember playing against this at Worlds 2022 in London. It infuriated me so much. Every other deck I played was Palkia VSTAR, and now it's back again. There we go. The next card is probably even more impactful, Radiant Greninja, the first of our Radiant cards. Used in so many decks. Concealed cards was brilliant. Discard an energy, draw 2. Absolutely fantastic. So good for consistency. It is used in decks like Gardevoir. It's used in Terrapagos. It's used in so many decks that need to get energy in the bin, and you can draw 2 cards. And then Moonlight Shuriken, be able to you could charge it up with Palkia. It was used in Lost Zone decks. You could discard 2 and then do 90 damage to 2 Pokemon. That's right. It could be one on the active, or it could be 2 on the bench. Absolutely fantastic. And then the final Pokemon from this set is Origin Form Dialga VSTAR. This deck has been used quite a bit now with Arceus V or Arceus VSTAR. The next Pokemon on our list is Dialga VSTAR. This deck has made a bit of a resurgence because there's been Pokemon like Matang that can charge it up. It's used with the new Arceus EX. It's just a brilliant card. Its VSTAR is what makes it special. 5 energy, 220 damage, and then you take another turn. I mean, what is going on there, guys? Absolutely incredible. And then obviously its Metal Blast is also good because it does 40 more damage for each metal energy attached to it. Didn't quite see as much play as it could have done, but still a very, very good deck. And then we've got the trainer cards. So many to go through. Hisuian Heavy Ball, enabling you to get a basic Pokemon from your prizes. I mean, even if you don't, you can look at your prizes. So good. And we've got Irida. Irida is still used in water decks today. Search for any water Pokemon and an item card. Absolutely busted. Canceling Cologne, great for shutting off abilities. If you've got a Manaphy in the active, if you have got Iron Thorns in the active, get Canceling Cologne down. It enables you to use your abilities again. Roxanne, a great hand disruption card. If you've taken 3 prize cards, you play this, you get to shuffle your hand into your deck, and your opponent does. You draw 6 cards and they draw 2. Absolutely fantastic. And then finally Switch Cart, which was just great with so many different decks. Astral Radiance didn't really have the Pokemon impact, but it had the trainer impact. Not my favourite set, but still a lot of great cards rotating from this set. Then we have the special set Pokemon GO. This set didn't really have a huge impact with regards to kind of collections. You can still find even some product today on shelves and online, but it did have these 4 cards that were very, very cool. First off is Radiant Charizard, used in so many decks today. It's got a brilliant ability. If your opponent's taken 4 prize cards, you can use Combustion Blast for 250 for 1 energy. This card won games. Use it in the late game, so good. Pokestop next, used in so many decks. Slap it down, draw 3. They're not items, they go in the discard. So good for consistency. Then, I'm not going to lie, I am so glad this card is rotating. Snorlax, that's right, with its block ability. The whole Snorlax stall deck was built around this card, and I cannot tell you how happy I am that this card is rotating. If it is in the active, your opponent is not able to retreat their Pokemon. It has won tournaments, it has caused families to break up, and it has caused governments to fail. Yes, this card will make your day or ruin your day, and it's still around for a few more tournaments, and yes, it's going to be around at EUIC. The last couple of years, EUIC has marked the beginning of the new rotation. This year, TCPI have decided to make EUIC in February. Not sure why, but we've still got the current rotation. So let's see what happens in its final few tournaments. And then finally, Ditto with its sudden transformation, used in Lost Zone, boxed, used in a couple of decks. It's got its sudden transformation ability. Very good. You can like transform into a basic. It's a good card. So all in all, Pokemon GO was a pretty subpar set, but it had these 4 cards that were used in many decks. Then we come to the big one. That's it. Lost Origins. Oh my goodness. This set brought back the Lost Zone. Oh my goodness, absolutely incredible. So many cards and a whole deck was built around this set. Obviously, Lost Zone box. Let's start with Cramorant. Amazing. Get 4 in the Lost Zone. You get to use Spit Innocently for free. You could do that your first turn going second. Rotom V didn't really have much of a home until it found Charizard, but its instant charge ability is just brilliant. Going first, get that down, use instant charge, draw 3 cards, your turn ends. Incredible. Sableye was just busted. Get 10 in the Lost Zone, Lost Mine, enabling you to sprinkle 12 damage counters wherever you liked. This card won games. And then the main engine behind Lost Zone box, we're going to miss our little flower friend, Comfey. That's right, Comfey with its flower selecting in the active. Look at the top 2 cards, choose one to go into your hand, and then put 1 in the Lost Zone. Absolutely brilliant card. It made the Lost Zone deck. Then we've got Drapion V. Yes, why is Drapion V here? I hear you asking me. Well, Drapion V was used when Mew VMAX was a thing. This card was thrown into many decks. It was thrown into Lugia. It was in Lost Zone. It was just in loads of decks at the time, because obviously if they had I think a Pokemon Fusion Strike in the active, and obviously the more you put down, you could do Dynamic Tail for free, and obviously Mew VMAX was weak to Dark, so this was a brilliant card to slow Mew VMAX down. Once Mew VMAX rotated last year, Drapion V fell off, which was a shame because it was a really nice card. And then obviously the last 2 we're looking at are Giratina V-Star and Goodra V-Star. Giratina V-Star in its own right was a fantastic card with its Lost Impact doing 280, and then Star Requiem, get 10 into the Lost Zone, and then you can knock out any Pokemon, anything, no matter what its HP. If it was a VMAX, amazing, take 3 prizes. And then Hisuian Goodra was V-Star, wasn't really used that much as an archetype. It was used a little bit with Arceus V-Star, but it's found a home in Regidrago V-Star as well as Giratina V-Star, and these are great cards that will be missed from the format. And then we move on to the trainers. My god, so many trainers. We've got Thornton. Now Thornton was really interesting because it allowed you to swap out a card from your discard pile with one on your bench. Really interesting card. Was very situational, but has found a really nice home in Charizard. Brilliant card. It was highly unutilized. Misfortune Sisters, a Snorlax stall staple. I mean, why the Pokemon Company thought this card was good, I will never know. Top 4 or 5 of your opponent's deck, any item cards, discard them. I mean, what? But yes, it's going, thank goodness. Lost Vacuum, brilliant card, enabling you to get rid of a tool card or a stadium. Brilliant, needn't say more. Corus's Experiment. Now this was used even in non-Lost Zone box decks because you were able to look at the top 5 cards, choose 3 and put 2 in the Lost Zone. Just fantastic, even used today still. Lost City, brilliant, getting those lost, you knock out your opponent's card. Instead of that Pokemon going into the discard pile, it goes to the Lost Zone and all the other cards go into the discard. I remember playing this a few weeks back and I managed to Lost Zone a Charizard, all the 4 Charmanders. He got really cross and he just stood up and went, I'm not playing anymore, and walked off. So funny. And then finally, Mirage Gate, brilliant. Once you get 7 in the Lost Zone, you can search for 2 of different energy types and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you like. If you wanted to, you could play 4 in one go. Brilliant. And then finally, Gift Energy as one of our special energies. Just a fantastic card. If the Pokemon it's attached to gets knocked out, you get to draw up to 7 cards until you've got 7 in your hand. Just brilliant. Lugia made great use of this card. Okay, what's the next set? Yes, it's Silver Tempest, and as we know, Silver Tempest has got some fantastic cards. Alolan Vulpix V-Star, we shall start with it. Saw a little bit of play with Arceus V-Star, really good. Snow Mirage, stopped Pokemon with abilities being able to do damage on you, and then it had its Silvery Snowy Star. This attack does 70 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon V in play. Really good, and it requires no energy. Radiant Alakazam is next. I'm still using Radiant Alakazam now in my Dragapult Iron Thorns deck. Brilliant. Painful Spoons, move 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another one. Boom, knock out those 70 HP Pokemon. Curlier. This is going to make Gardevoir much, much harder to use. Its refinement ability is just busted. You get the Rolls down, you evolve into Curlier, you can then discard a card and draw 2. Absolutely fantastic. Gardevoir is not going to be the same without this card. And then we have the 2 big cards that are still the main decks today. Regidrago VSTAR is the #1 deck still to play. Oh my god, this card is going to be missed so much. With its amazing Apex Dragon, you can copy any damage, any Dragon Pokemon's move in the discard pile. It is still the #1 deck. It's probably going to be in the top 8 at Birmingham, and it's going to be in the top 8 at San Antonio and EYC. It's still got a lot it wants to do before it rotates. And then also Lugia VSTAR and Arceus. Oh my goodness, these 2 were just the deck I used to play in late 22, early 23. Fantastic. You've got a Summoning Star to get 2 non-rule box colourless Pokemon, any Pokemon you want from your discard onto your bench. Get 2 Arceus down, and then you've got Primal Turbo to take 2 special energy from your deck and put them onto any Pokemon. I mean, what? That's 5 energy you can get in 1 turn with an energy attachment. And then when you put that with Cincino, oh my goodness, you're knocking out 330 HP Pokemon. There is so much you can do with Lugia. Lugia struggled with consistency. It was annoying at times, but boy, was it an amazing deck. And then finally, we've got the trainers. Capturing Aroma, really good search. Flip a coin, get a heads, you search for a basic. If it's a tails, it's an evolution. And then Forest Seal Stone, used in so many cards. Brilliant. If you're not playing Pokemon with a V-Star ability, attach it to a Pokemon V, flip over your V-Star marker, and then you can search for any card. A kind of diet Arceus V-Star, would you may. Now obviously Crown Zenith was the last set, but I didn't really need to include any cards. Most of them were reprints. There were a couple of cards that kind of came into the meta a little bit, but nothing that was truly impactful. I have to say, guys, that Charizard and Gardevoir are going to be the main decks that lose out from this rotation. Charizard is going to have to be completely rebuilt, as is Gardevoir. Gardevoir, not so much. I mean, the big loss for Gardevoir is the Curlier, and obviously you losing Radiant Greninja, but Charizard losing its Radiant Charizard, losing Luminion, losing Forest Seal Stone, it's losing obviously Rotom V. It's going to have at least 15 cards it's going to need to fill. But there we go, guys. That is the rotation. And not only that, we lose our yellow border Pokemon. This is the last set from Sword and Shield. We're going to be 100% Scarlet and Violet from now on. So, guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think of Rotation 2025? We're going to be everything from G block onwards now. We're now going to be moving into I block rotation. I mean, it's nuts. We're going to be 100% Scarlet and Violet until the last set drops in December next year or November next year, and then they might put a special set, and then we move on. Pokemon Days, the 27th of February. Are they going to announce Gen 10? Who knows? But I tell you what, guys, there's a lot of cards leaving the standard format. So let me know in the comments, which cards are you going to miss? Which ones are you not going to miss? I, for one, Snorlax Stall, I am so grateful that card is gone. But there we go. Guys, as always, thank you so much. If you've enjoyed my content, please smash the like button. It really helps the algorithm. Please subscribe. I've nearly hit 3,000 subscribers. It's so exciting. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you again real soon in my next video, and I'm so looking forward to Prismatic Evolutions. Anyway, guys, until then, take care. All the best.